The ninth section, the ethical solution. And now our political digression is ended, and we are ready at last to answer the question with which we began: what is justice? There are only three things worth while in this world: justice, beauty, and truth, and perhaps none of them can be defined. 400 years after Plato, a Roman procurator of Judea asked helplessly, "What is truth?" And philosophers have not yet answered, nor told us what is beauty. But for justice, Plato ventures a definition. Justice, he says, is the having and doing what is one's own. This has a disappointing sound after so much delay we expected an infallible revelation. That does the definition mean? What does the definition mean? Simply that each man shall receive the equivalent of what he produces and shall perform the function for which he is best fit. A just man is a man in just the right place, doing his best, and giving the full equivalent of what he receives. A society of just men would be, therefore, a highly harmonious and efficient group, for every element would be in its place, fulfilling its appropriate function, like the piece in a perfect orchestra. Justice in a society would be like that harmony of relationship whereby the planets are held together in their orderly, or as Pythagoras would have said, their musical movement. So organized a society is fit for survival, and justice receives a kind of Darwinian sanction, where men are out of their natural places, where the businessman subordinates the statesman, or the soldiers usurps the position of the king, there the coordination of parts is destroyed. The joints decay, the society disintegrates and dissolves. Justice is effective coordination. And in the individual too, justice is effective coordination. The harmonious functioning of the elements in a man, each in its fit place and each making its cooperative contribution to behavior. Every individual is a commerce or a chaos of desires, emotions, and ideas. Let these fall into harmony, and the individual survives and succeeds. Let them lose their proper place and functions. Let emotion try to become the light of action as well as its heat, as in the fanatic. Or let thought try to become the heat of action as well as its light, as in the intellectual. And this integration of personality begins. Failure advances like the inevitable night. Justice is a taxis, kai, cosmos, an order and the beauty of the parts of the soul. It is to the soul as health is to the body. All evil is disharmony between man and nature, or man and man, or man and himself. Only between man and nature, or man and man, or man and himself. So Plato replies to Thrasymachus and Callicles and to all Nietzscheans. However, justice is not mere strength, but harmonious strength, desires and men falling into that order which constitutes intelligence and organization. Justice is not the right of the stronger, but the effective harmony of the whole. It is true that the individual who gets out of the place to which his nature and talents adapt him may for a time seize some profit and advantage, but an inescapable nemesis pursues him, as Anaxagoras spoke of the Furies pursuing any planet that should wander out of its orbit. The terrible pattern of the nature of things drives the refractory instrument back to its place and its pitch and its natural note. The Corsican lieutenant may try to rule Europe with a ceremonious despotism, fitted better to an ancient monarchy than to a dynasty born overnight, but he ends on a prison rock in the sea, ruefully recognizing that he is the slave of the nature of things. Injustice will out. There is nothing bizarrely new in this conception, and indeed we shall do well to suspect. In philosophy, say doctrine, which prunes itself on novelty, truth changes her garments frequently, like every seemly lady, but under the new habit she remains always the same. In moral, we need not expect startling innovations, despite of interesting adventures of sophists and Nietzscheans. All moral conceptions revolve about the good of the whole. Morality begins with association and interdependence and organization. Life in society requires the concession of some part of the individual's sovereignty to the common order, and ultimately the norm of conduct becomes the welfare of the group. Nature will have its soul, and her judgment is always final. A group survives in competition or conflict with another group according to its unity and power, according to the ability of its members to cooperate for common ends. And what better cooperation could there be than that each should be doing that which he can do best? This is the goal of organization which every society must seek. If it would have life, morality said Jesus is kindness to the weak. Morality, said Nietzsche, is the bravery of the strong. Morality, said Plato, is the effective harmony of the whole. Probably all three doctrines must be combined to find a perfect ethic. But can we doubt which of the elements is fundamental? This section is over.